Hey guys, it's your girl TheQuackingSaffa here, and welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone for some time, but I am back, and today I'm giving you my honest Path of Exile 1 review from a Path of Exile 2 player's perspective. The thing I think we need to understand though is, first of all, is that although Path of Exile 1 and 2 are made by the same company, they are very, very different games, and you get very different experiences playing both of them. Now, the thing that I do want to mention is, in my opinion, Path of Exile 2 is way more user-friendly and beginner-friendly than Path of Exile 1 is. Now, this does not mean that Path of Exile 1 is now a worse game than Path of Exile 2 is. It just means that for the casual player, like I was in the beginning, Path of Exile 2 is easier to understand. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Path of Exile 1 has been out 11 years longer than Path of Exile 2, and PoE2 is still in early release. So there are many changes coming, and I know that GGG has spoken about the things that they want in the 29th of August update, and I am really excited to see it. But in the meantime, this season, Dawn of the Hunt, was kind of done about a month ago. For me anyway, and so I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try Path of Exile 1. I've never played it, and I want to see what all the hype is about. So I did just that. And let me tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. Okay, yeah, there were steep learning curves and things that I didn't understand in the beginning, but I think that 3.26, this Mercenaries League, was absolutely fantastic. I think the idea of bringing in mercenaries that not only gave you buffs but helped you deal damage was amazing, and I really enjoyed the fact that I could use different mercenaries for different things, different mercenaries for different characters, and more importantly, just have fun with it. Like I said, Path of Exile 1 and 2 are completely different games. Okay, yes, the basic principle is the same. You create a character, you level them up, you make them stronger with their gear and their weapon, and you use them to delete pinnacle and uber bosses, and to explore all the other content that endgame offers. Having said that, Path of Exile 1 offers much more variety when it comes to endgame than Path of Exile 2. In Path of Exile 2, you put your precursor tablets in your tower and that juices your map, and obviously then you use your exalted orbs to get, what you want on your maps, and you run them. And whether that have ritual in them, whether that have breach in them, whether that have delirium or expedition, that's kind of where things end. And then you get the citadels, obviously, for the arbiter. You run breaches to get breach splinters for Zesht, and you run rituals, obviously, for King of the Mist. When it comes to Path of Exile 1 though, there is so much more content, and there are things that I haven't even explored yet. We have Delve, which is your mining encampment. We have things like King's March. We have things like Abyss, Legion, Harvest, things like that. And there just is so much more content. I found exploring these options incredibly fun and exciting and new, even though obviously this game is old and had been out for what seems to be forever. I enjoyed it, and it was something different, and it was something fresh, and it gave me an insight into what Path of Exile 2 could become. Now I know that GGG is not going to make the same game twice, but it's exciting to see that in the future, Path of Exile 2 is going to be, and I have no doubt about this, a fantastic game on full release. Now, I could sit here and talk about Path of Exile 1 forever, because there is just that much content in the game, but I will highlight a few things that I found extremely interesting. Number one is their crafting. Their crafting is wide and vast, and you can do so many things. You have the Horticrafting Station, which uses the crystallized life force that you get from the harvest to manipulate the gear in ways that you want. For example, you could put fire modifiers on it, life modifiers on it. You could even change something that has cold resistance on it to something with fire resistance without messing with any of the other modifiers on that gear piece. Not to mention your crafting bench, where if you've got a open prefix or suffix modifier, you can add certain things like life, armor, damage, resistance, whatever it may be, instead of just slamming it with an exalt orb and hoping you get something good. Number 2, the way your skill gems work. No longer is there a tab where you throw your skill gems in, or should I say previously there wasn't a tab where you throw your skill gems in, it all went into your gear. Now that does make things a little bit tricky, but nonetheless there are many ways of making it work. For example, there is only one Jeweler's Orb. There's no lesser Jeweler's Orb, greater Jeweler's Orb, or perfect Jeweler's Orb. There is just a Jeweler's Orb. And that is what is used to make your gear either 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 link gear. And then you have things like fusing orbs, which fuse everything together so that all your supports work with all your skills, and chromatic orbs, which change the color of the gems themselves so that you can slot in what you want to what piece of gear. These things make the game fun and interesting, and a little bit more challenging when you're playing things like Solo Self-Found, because you can't trade for them, you can't use Faustus, and it just becomes a little bit more time consuming. But that is what Solo Self-Found is. It's a little bit more time consuming. I could go on and on and on and talk about all the differences between Path of Exile 1 and Path of Exile 2, but that is not going to get us anywhere near the end of this video. But I will summarize. In my review, I think that Path of Exile 1 is a fantastic game. It is much more polished, understandably so, than Path of Exile 2. And I just can't wait to see what GGG do to it in the future. I will definitely be coming back for future seasons, and am excited to see what they hold. Now, if we want to talk about Path of Exile 2 again for a second, I cannot wait for the 29th of August update. I have no idea what GGG are actually doing. I've seen all the spoilers, the teasers and everything like that, and so far it looks fantastic, and I'm really excited to see how they bring Path of Exile 2 into its own. For anybody on the fence about playing Path of Exile 1 or not, I would recommend giving it a go. It is a free game, you're going to lose nothing, and hopefully you'll gain a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge that you can carry over to Path of Exile 2 in the future. As always, if you've liked this video, please don't forget to leave a like rating and subscribe if you want to see more of my content in the future. I will also be streaming on the 29th of August, the new Path of Exile 2 update, so if you're interested, come on over to Twitch and check it out. So all that's left to say is take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will catch you in the next one.